All right, welcome everyone to another edition of Deconversion Stories. And today I've got my friend Joel, otherwise known as Atypical Atheist or Agnostic, as you put now on your Twitter, I noticed.
Yeah.
First of all, Josh, welcome to the show, or Joel, I should say. Welcome to the
Yes. Thank you.
show. Welcome everyone out there in the chat. If you guys like the tunes for the show, check out the links below and you can find all the music that I do. With my friends in the band. By the way, I did band practice this morning, went to band practice and literally sat there listening to the guitar player and bass player play around with their effects pedals and all these new noises and stuff because my drummer didn't show up today. So, fucking drummers, I tell you. Yeah. But it's hard to find one as talented as the one that we have. That's for sure. So we put up with this bullshit. But anyway, Joe, what I do is I chat with folks here about their journeys away from whatever faith systems they were once a part of. So, and I generally like folks to kind of go back into the days of the indoctrinations and sort of us, how those dominoes started falling for you and how you found your way out and to becoming an atheist activist and stuff. And by the way, guys, Joel only has one follower on Twitch and I have a link below. And guess who that follower is, by the way? I'm not going to say anything, but it might be this guy. So there is a link below so you can give him a follow on Twitter. Anyway, so why don't you tell us your story, good sir?
Yes, my story. Okay, wow. I guess I'll start with my parents if that's okay.
You start wherever you like.
So my parents were both missionary kids, which meant that they grew up in different countries. My dad grew up in Africa.
Oh, wow.
My mom grew up in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they met back in this country at a Bible college. So that's...
Go figure.
Yeah. At some point, probably early 90s, they got involved with an charismatic Christian church called the Vineyard.
Mm-hmm. Let me fix this.
My dad started that church. He was a pastor for a while. So yeah, that was kind of the flavor of Christianity I grew up in.
Would you consider them fundamentalists?
Not necessarily. They definitely believed in the Bible. It's the Word of God, but
right. So they did they believe it was a 6,000-year-old Earth?
Yeah, my parents, we didn't really touch on all that much creationism stuff when I was young. No.
Okay.
So yeah, that was my one Christian experience or bubble, whatever you call it. I also went to a private Christian school from kindergarten to grade 12. So that was something.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I actually had a pretty good experience with it for the most part.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You didn't have nuns hitting you with a ruler or anything, did you?
No, it wasn't that kind of school. It was
okay.
There's a lot of Dutch people.
Okay.
A lot of Vander names, Vander this, Vander that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was baptized in my kitchen in a tub.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had an exchange student from Vietnam living with us, and we were both baptized together in this little tub in the kitchen. It's kind of funny.
Little basin.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, I grew up in the back of a 57 Chevy. No, tons. I've told you this 1,000 times. I was conceived in the back seat of a 57 Chevy.
Right.
Carry on, sir.
Yes. So I'd say I was pretty much a pretty strong believer up into into middle school, where we had a class in middle school which was like a Bible class.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned more about the Bible and our faith or whatever, and we studied like Lee Strobel's Case for Christ and
oh goody.
yeah, intelligent design stuff.
Mhm.
But that class kind of made me kind of curious about, like, okay, so we believe this, but what do other people believe?
Mhm. Sure.
So this story I find this story really embarrassing now, but I decided I'd go on Facebook and go to an atheist group on Facebook and ask them questions
Okay.
about religion and God. And I would say I did not get the nicest response.
What were you
Yeah.
expecting? I
was
mean,
looking
there's
for-
probably some that were civil with you and others that were just complete a-holes.
Yeah, well, that was my naivety at the time.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So after that, in I think it was grade 11, maybe we had like a religions course. So we went to a mosque. We went to
Cool.
a synagogue. Kind of explored that, but at the time I was like, like, especially with Islam, it was like Muslims should know better. Like, we got the right religion, and they're kind of, not right. They believe
They're
in a new
volume 3.
they believe in a new prophet, and Jesus warned against false prophets.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, so then
Especially ones that ride on flying horses too, right? Like, and cut the moon in half with this. Like,
Oh,
what the
yeah.
fuck?
Split
What?
the moon.
yes, okay, yeah, the Barak or whatever I think it's called. So yeah, I'd say by the end of high school, I was probably becoming more of an open-minded Christian. I would say I was
Okay.
not very dogmatic in high school. And then a few things happened to me post high school. I worked my first job. I was laid off after about a month.
Why'd they lay you off?
Mostly because I was not very good at my job.
That'll do it.
Yeah, it was a very overwhelming job for me. So it was probably for the best. But, so that kind of put a crack in my belief a little bit about, God and things. And
Why did you pray to keep the job and it fell through, or?
no, I had this view of God, that God takes care of you, and he doesn't want bad things to happen to you, and
Okay.
that kind of thing. Yeah. So
Yeah,
some
tell
point-
that to the kid born with progeria.
yeah. At some point, I started getting into the new atheists, the so-called new atheists, the Dawkins, Hitchens, Sam Harris, those kind of guys. And I was hooked, man. I was like, this is amazing. I love this. Like, screw religion.
I think many of us fell into that Dawkins, Hitchens, the whole. That's kind of what starts it all, especially when they pop up on YouTube all the time, right?
Yes. Like, I had never, before, I never really thought deeply about these things until I post high school, because I just assumed everything I was taught was true.
Right. Of course.
Anyway, I was in that phase for a while, and I actually went through a phase. I lost my dog. My dog died that I had for 12 years.
That's the worst.
Yeah, that actually set me into a more kind of exploratory phase. Like, I was like, I got to find out what the true religion is. If it's not Christianity, and I got to find out, what the truth is. So I investigated. I seriously considered converting to Judaism. I met with a rabbi in my city. I heavily explored the Baha'i faith. I don't know if you're aware of that one.
Yep. Oh yeah.
There were certain things, though, I couldn't reconcile some of their teachings, and I couldn't get my head around the God thing. So it was a bit problematic.
Well, in the Baha'i faith, God is more like, they're almost deistic in a way rather than theistic.
I mean, maybe there's somebody in the chat who doesn't know what you guys are talking about. Maybe go over that.
Baha'i. Yeah, Baha'i is basically this religion founded by this guy in Iran in the 19th century, who claimed to be the fulfillment of Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, a bunch of guys, and they basically teach that there's one God and that each founder of the major religions were sent by God, and then they sent this new guy in Iran.
Right. Even though many of the religions are just not compatible, but anyway.
Yeah.
Like Hinduism alone has millions of gods.
Certain, they just Krishna. That's the only God though, except from Hinduism.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I completely lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's fine.
But you were explaining what it is because I didn't know. I had never heard of it.
Yeah, it's the smallest religion. It's maybe like 7 million worldwide. Some people call it a cult, but I'm very tepid about using the term cult because of the negative connotation that comes across with it.
Well,
it's very top. It's like the Catholic Church. It's like hierarchical basically, and only men can be on the head house. So
no women,
and you can't. You can only marry man or woman. No same sex stuff or any of that. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're very. I call them theologically progressive, but not so very socially progressive. So anyway,
right.
Explored that for a while. Then I decided, no, that's true. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. So yeah, I got hooked into the. I can't remember when I first discovered the atheist community of Austin, but like I got hooked into the atheist experience and all the programs in there, and for a while I would consume that quite a bit.
Okay.
I know, Neil, are you still in the nonprofits, Neil?
I have done quite a few episodes, but I haven't done one lately. And Malty, actually one of the other co-hosts, is now working on the production side as well, has said he wants to get me back in there for another episode or two.
I think
I'm a busy guy, so it's tough for me to have time to do other things these days.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I've done a lot of reading about science and religion, and just inundated my brain with all this information.
Yep.
It's helped me understand basically that religion is a man-made construct. Gods are most likely a man-made construct. Though I sometimes lean towards sort of an agnosticism or atheism, where there's so many different conflicting views and definitions of God where God is kind of meaningless until you lay down the definition of a specific God you're trying to believe or defend. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Right. And then I think it was 2019. I was officially diagnosed with autism.
Okay.
It was a bit like you're sort of autistic, you're sort of not autistic.
Right.
You kind of fit a strange.
What do you mean, like autistic tendencies? Like, what does that even mean?
Diet autistic light.
Yeah, right.
0.
Autistic.
All the flavors.
Anyway, so I was like, cool. I'm officially diagnosed. There's this program where I live where I can get employment through autism employment training. So I did that, but then unfortunately, when that started, the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And that kind of threw a wrench in that idea. Yeah, and then unfortunately my mental health really deteriorated 2020, and then seriously deteriorated in 2021 to the degree I had to be hospitalized for like 6 months. Yeah, it was not great. It was catatonic, and I was completely delirious at times.
Oh wow.
It was a really tough period in my life. I'm glad I came through it.
Yeah, no kidding. How are you these days?
Actually, really, really good.
Awesome. Good.
hmm
Except you think you're out of water now.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
That's the same.
that's kind of my basic outline. You can ask more specific questions if you want.
Well, I mean, when you said you went to like you said a Catholic private school, was it, or just like
No, it's just general Christian.
okay? So,
Yeah.
what was that like for you? Like when you were in there, was that like from grade 1 to 7 kind of thing, or
No, this was kindergarten to grade 12.
kindergarten? So you were there the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole
Did
time.
were there any courses like in the normal sciences, like?
Oh yeah, there was chemistry, biology. Oh, sorry, but I sucked ass at all that. So I was only good at the humanities.
So how did they square? I mean, in the courses, because I know a lot of times they don't like teaching evolution, but how did they square that?
We learned about evolution. Like, yeah, this is what we have to teach you, but we don't necessarily agree with it. So,
Oh, is that what? Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people that go to these types of schools. You hear that quite a bit. Oh, we don't agree with it, even though there's mountains of evidence for it. But,
I know that one of my classmates wanted to become a geologist. I was like, there's no way he's gonna be a young Earth creationist when she's studying geology.
yeah, no. Well, some people still stay believers even in these types.
Yeah,
of,
I know. I realized that. Yeah.
but they give up on specific beliefs about.
Yeah.
Which blows me away, because I mean, if you're thinking that this book that you believe, the Bible or the Old Testament or whatever, if you're thinking that this is the Word of God and it's all truth and stuff like that, then how the hell does that square off in your head if you're learning about these things that are demonstrably true that are totally against what's written in those books?
Well, I think it comes down to there's a few different things in there. There's what's called biblical inerrancy, and there's what's another thing called biblical infallibility,
Right.
and then there's biblical inspiration, and the three of them kind of mix together. But it's like infallibility, inerrancy is like, okay, is every little thing is it infallible in what it says about history and science, or about salvation, or is it inerrant about the universe, or just about the teachings are inerrant, or that kind of thing. That's how they kind of squared. Some of these Christian theologians, I think, squared.
All right. Well, so you figure right around your grade 12 timing, that's when you started sort of finding the stuff on YouTube with like Hitchens and whatnot, or was it a little bit after that? Or
I'm guessing it was after. I mean, I think I was having doubts by the end of grade 12, but it was really after school when I had more time on my own. I was able to look more into
I guess
this
that's
stuff.
fair. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I never went to university or college, so.
Do you plan to, or?
What is that?
That's 0.
That's
Jack Wolf. I'm so sorry. Hold on.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think academia is important in a lot of ways. It's really
sure.
But I tend to learn more what's called autodidactally, which is more self-learning.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot of books, and I read a lot of Wikipedia articles. I don't know. Do you know what Rational Wiki is?
Yep.
Yeah, I love that one too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of just learn. I feel like with the course, you can't. Oh, I mean, you can, but you can't always decide what exactly the course is going to entail. Or you just kind of have to do the course. Where I feel like I have more agency in when I can learn and explore.
When you do it
myself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Any particular subjects you're interested in, or?
the the small ones, you know, philosophy, religion, science.
Philosophy. Oh, some of those guys, man, I tell you. Them and their philosophizing.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess some of that.
it's a necessity. Philosophy is a necessity because sometimes you have to battle with ideas in your head, whether or not they're ethical or whatnot. So philosophy comes in handy for stuff like that. But I could care less about it. I'm more science-based myself, being a chemist anyways. So
Oh, I didn't know you were a chemist.
yeah, that's what I do. I work for an environmental company. And
Oh, nice.
I test out stuff like waste oils and contaminated
Cool.
soil and antifreeze. Actually, I run the antifreeze department as well, but most of the time I'm in a lab testing out all the batches we make from the recycled stuff. So,
Yeah.
Mikey, quit screwing around. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah, the only science stuff I can even wrap my head around really is biology.
Biology, yeah,
Especially zoology, and I love animals, so.
Cryptozoology.
No, that shit is so dumb.
Oh yeah, I know. I think the closest they ever came to some form, if you will, of legitimacy was when they said, well, Bigfoot could be Gigantopithecus, which is a very large primate that actually lived, years back. But I highly doubt that they would be able to hide for so long from people.
I think people are watching too much Jungle Book or something.
Well, you've got
Gigantopithecus in there.
In Jungle Book?
Yeah, he's in the what's the one? The live action one, not the Andy Serkis one, but he calls himself a Gigantopithecus. He's a giant, like orangutan.
Oh, that's the one that what's his name voiced?
Seth Rogen?
Not Seth Rogen. Oh, come on, what's his fucking name?
How old is this one?
Well, this was 2017 or something.
Yeah, Bill Murray with Blue the Bear, and
it was pretty good actually. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh,
yeah, it was all right. That played the orangutan. Come on, Neil.
Oh, Christopher
Walken.
Yes,
Walken.
Oh yeah, Christopher Walken.
Yeah. I carried it around in my ass. Anyway,
all right, we were talking about thing I'm into. Yeah. Like just about religion or atheism or what? Just in general.
Well, I mean, how did it affect your relationships with like your family and stuff like
yes, that's interesting. Yeah. At first, not great. Because I came out pretty freaking strong against religion. I think I actually made my mom cry one time. That was really sad.
So did you come out that way because you were you feeling like anger towards being led into this belief or what?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of feel like there's all this information you don't know, and then it's like, well, you feel like you're being lied to. You're being lied to your whole life. I mean, I don't think my parents were purposely trying to deceive me, but
of course not.
It's just things we never brought up around the dinner table, or we kind of just. I mean, my dad's church actually, that ended in a big hot flaming mess.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So yes. Anyway, at first it was bad, but over the years it's gone pretty good. All of my family members, except who I am.
That's good.
We obviously
a lot of times that doesn't happen. So.
No, we obviously don't agree on some of the bigger things in life, but we can move past that and still be family. So
Well, would you guys just not talk about that sort of thing now, or?
Oh, I talk about it with my dad because he's more of the kind of intellectual sort of guy. My mom, I talk to her and she kind of just listens.
So when you talk to them about this sort of thing, what are the kinds of things that you're saying to them?
Oh, I just ask them. Sometimes I ask my dad questions about theology or just about religion and the Bible, or I'll talk about some religion I'm reading about or some sort of thing like that. Just kind of my dad's a pretty open-minded guy, so
That's good.
yeah. He sells Bibles for a living, but he's open-minded.
He sells Bibles.
He works for a Bible society.
Oh, okay. Wow. I used to have one. I have no idea what the hell happened to the thing. I always keep I have a Quran somewhere. I've got a Torah.
I got a Quran too.
Actually, scroll style.
Oh wow,
And,
that's amazing.
Well, I got it for my bar mitzvah when I was a kid, and also have a copy of the Bible and a Book of Mormon as well. So
I have a Book of Mormon here too. Look,
for referential purposes, of course.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine looks like identical to that one. Exactly the same.
And it has Joseph Smith in the front too, I think.
Has it got him going? Hi, want to buy some magic underwear?
No, that'd be funnier than the picture it is.
We got a fire sale on undies. You guys got to get in here.
Fire sale, but don't worry, they won't catch fire because they're magic.
It's funny when you said fire sale. I used to play COD Zombies a lot, and it just reminded me of the drops, the fire sale drop for the mystery box. I think it was.
I finally started playing that again, but I didn't like all the rest of it. I don't like the whole, go from wave 1 to wave 1 million. Can I just start at like 20? Let me just start at 20 because I don't want to go through the first 20 rounds. If I could skip that, that would be great.
Oh, I guess I didn't talk about my YouTube channel.
Oh, you have YouTube. All right. Hit me so I can put it in the chat so people can follow.
Yeah, so a bit of background on that was I'm really interested in sort of the digital.
Yeah, you can any version. Actually, you can find any holy book online. So
I kind of like these more these kind of dialogues, sort of things with people, different perspectives and things, and just having conversations with people. And so I was like, why don't I just do that as a YouTube channel?
Wait, you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I told you one of my. I'm pretty sure I told you one of my emails. But maybe you didn't see it.
Why, boy, I'm sharp as a tack today, aren't I?
What's the name of the channel?
It is Atypical Agnostic. But there's only one video. There's only one video posted there right now. It's me and Erica Gibbon having a conversation.
Oh, Erica's awesome.
Yeah, she is. She's very kind. She's very kind of. It was very kind of her to do it with me. I have some
good people, man.
I have some more interviews I have in my backlog. I just get them up and posted.
You should do that.
I will.
One of the best things I see. Throw it in the description box too, but
on it.
Like in this one, it'll automatically go over to YouTube. I didn't realize that you had one. Although I now do remember you mentioning that you had one in the email. Think about it, but I had a shitty sleep last night, and I woke up in my fucking neck today. So all day, and then to top it off, I show up at band practice, and our drummer's fucking AWOL. So I just sit there listening to the guys playing around with their fucking new sound pedals and stuff like that, and making like Star Wars pew 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 noises with their guitars and shit.
What's your favorite band?
My favorite band? Ooh, that's tough. Actually, it's not tough. I can tell you who my top 3 favorite bands are right now. Number 1 is Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah, it's a good band.
Number 2 is Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
Number 3 is Alice in Chains.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Number 4, Rush. Number 5, Soundgarden. Number 6, probably Pearl Jam. See, I was very much into the Seattle scene as well.
Right. Yeah. Nirvana.
Because it reminded me a lot of the older pre-80s hard rock as well, right? So, and then you get, I like tons of different, Nazareth is great. There's lots of really good bands out there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, actually, I like lots of different kinds of music too. So not just like harder stuff, but I also like a lot of. Yes, Alice in Chains is amazing. Even the stuff without Lane Staley is actually pretty good. But I much prefer the original. Right. But yeah, no, my all-time favorite band is Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Aaron Ross as well, just so you guys know.
What a surprise.
That's the first thing we kind of connected on, him and I. So. And now we walk around and people are scared of us. We're walking around together being like, holy fuck, look at these guys. They're going to kill us.
Yeah. So yeah, no, my family is they're cool with me. None of them actually go to church.
Who?
None of my family go to church.
Really?
Yeah.
So your dad sells Bibles, so he doesn't go to church, though?
I mean, he'll go to speak at churches, but no one in my immediate family goes to church. No.
This is a very valid point, Heather. It is tough, but underneath the first couple, the bands kind of swap around a little bit, depending on my mood, I guess you could say. But Zeppelin and Sabbath will always be my top 2. Always.
Do you want to hear my top 3, top 5?
Sure.
Okay, number 1 is the Beatles.
Oh, yes, of course. They're in my top 10.
Number two is Queen.
Queen's good.
Number 3 is Rush.
Rush is very good.
And number four is Green Day, I think I would say, and then Weezer.
Green Day. Interesting. Weezer?
Yeah, I know.
How do you go from Rush to Weezer?
Hey, yeah, they're nerdy guys. I'm a nerdy guy.
I like Weezer. Don't get me wrong. They've got some pretty cool tunes, but Smashing Pumpkins, Bridge. Yeah, Smashing Pumpkins was really good. Their first couple albums. I'm a huge fan.
I can't stand his voice.
I really loved the first, not Blue, I think was the first one, but the one with the purple cover with the circle in the middle. What do they call that? Siva, something like that, I think. Anyway, that was my favorite one. If you're looking for music to shave by, there's a bit of a joke behind that there. We found a video on YouTube where this guy was shaving to the song that intros this show.
Oh.
Yeah, the song is called Tangled, and he's in there. Yeah, I found this song. I think I don't even know where he found it, and he starts shaving to the song, one of my songs. I'm shaving to Luminous. I'm like, whoa, all right.
Nice.
Maiden. Iron Maiden, Slayer, Metallica. Yeah, they're all good. Metallica kind of sucks. After And Justice for All, they kind of totally fucking went downhill in my books.
Yeah, I know.
Black Album was just brutal.
I didn't really follow metal all that much.
I like metal.
Paul McCartney is my favorite of the Beatles.
McCartney? I see. I'm a John Lennon fan.
Oh, I love John Lennon too. But
Like
it just depends on my mood, man. John is so angsty and.
Well, he was. What I loved about John is I don't know if you heard any of his side project stuff where he did.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking the blues shit that he did was amazing.
Wait, which one are you talking about? Because he did John Lennon Plastic Ono Band, which is like the screaming stuff.
No, not that shit. I'm talking not stuff that they ever made albums with, but they had, they did videos and stuff like it was him and Keith Richards. And,
the Dirty Mac.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Dirty Mac. Yeah, and some of the blues that they did was fucking amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, dog. Pink Floyd. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I approve.
Oh,
Black
I'm
Album is not a good intro into metal.
Here you go, Neil.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
Here you go, Neil. I got a hot one for you. Here it comes.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay. Are we gonna get a copyright strike on this?
No. There's a great comment in there. Waiting for it to pop up on our side.
Oh yeah. It takes a minute.
Oh, what the heck? Well, fake name says atheists love Satan. That's why they like metal rock.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
It's funny because the Satan only appears like a couple times in the Hebrew Bible.
There you go.
And Jesus is actually, he faces the devil in the desert. It's not Satan. It's a completely different entity, I think.
Well, Satan is actually, that's a bastardization of the Hebrew word shatan,
Yes.
which means adversary.
Yeah. I think the devil and Satan in later Christian history, I think they get conflated into the same thing.
Yeah. There is no devil in the Old Testament, FYI.
No.
Anyway. So I don't know how the hell we got onto the music topic, but
That was my
I kind of want to know. You've been a non-believer now for about 4 or 5 years now. You figure?
Yeah, I say off and on, but I think I'm
Off and on. What do you mean by that?
I've had periods where I'm a little bit less unsure of what I believe, but I think I'm.
Hence the agnostic part.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty okay with where I'm at right now.
Okay. Yoko Ono, what sang the sea creature animals on the song Rock Lobster? What? No, come on.
I'll research it. This better not be a joke.
I know there's some weird noises on there, but I never knew that. I guess I could see that, but at a concert. Okay, I got you.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, that's not her.
It's one band I never did see live was B-52s. And I fucking loved that Rock Lobster song when it came out, man.
I hate that song so much.
Oh, dude, I remember being a kid sitting in my room, just holding my finger over the record button while listening to the radio so I can record it, right?
Good times.
I'm still of the generation that remembers cassette tapes and VHS tapes.
Oh yeah.
We'll
have some VHS tapes around here somewhere.
Yeah. Horrible technology.
I'm pretty sure if I pull them out of the box that I've got them in, they'd probably turn to dust.
As soon as they hit air, they're just done for.
Also, both my guitar player and drummer, the slacker that he is, both of them collect cassettes, actually. And my drummer also collects vinyl.
I collect vinyl.
And he builds record players.
Why don't do that?
I think
I'm not that talented.
I think instead of like the boomer, millennial, all those things, all the generations should be like, what was your first platform of listening to music? That's how I can tell how old you are. I know what kind of person you are. If you've never had a CD, I don't even know if I can trust you. Like if you,
I have CDs.
I mean?
I have so many CDs.
Like if someone's never had a CD, oh, you're a baby. You must be. What are you, 5? Like what? You have to be a child.
I'm an old-fashioned kind of.
The MP3 kids, like they've always had iPods.
Yeah.
Never had to rewind anything. Flip something over for side B.
Yoko Ono sang the part of Jesus.
Oh, since we're just saying stuff, yeah.
Victrola. That's awesome. I still have a bunch of CDs in a box, but I ripped them all onto the computer or onto a little. Where is it here? A little hard drive here. But yeah, so they're just collecting dust now too. Although occasionally I'll bring some out. I have a little travel case thing that I use in my car right now and pop a CD in every once in a while. Like the first 5 CDs and they're all Black Sabbath. And then I got some Zeppelin ones in there and I think some Alice in Chains ones. Oh, and also Alice in Chains Sap. Sap is in there because fuck, I love that album. It's only 4 songs, but it's fucking epic. And Wilson from Heart sings on one of them. And of course, there's another tune on there where they get all the different dudes from the Seattle scene, like Mark Arm and Chris Cornell and whatnot, singing on there too. It's pretty cool.
It's my new tower. It doesn't even have a drive. Like there's nowhere to even. I can't even rip. I'd have to buy something if I wanted to rip CDs now. Didn't come with them anymore. I guess that's the way of the world now, Neil. They're getting rid of the disk drives.
This is an interesting question in the chat here.
Which cat?
That's why I got this, buddy.
It says, "Did you think evolution had merit when you heard about it, Joel?"
Oh.
Oh
man, I'm making a mess.
I'd say I probably first time I heard about it, I didn't really think about it all too much. But the more I learned about it, the more I'm like, yeah, I know this makes sense. Yeah, thanks for the question. Has Joel read the Gospel of the Clowns? I don't think so.
What chat are you looking at?
The comments. It's the comments on the sidebar here.
Are we missing something?
I'm not seeing them.
Oh, there could be earlier ones.
Oh, are they up higher? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like at the bottom. I'm like, that sounds like Tons of Mice said it, but that's not what he said.
John was my favorite Beatle. Fair enough.
Doug, what's a CD?
See, these kids do not understand. Like they have no actual concept of what rewind means because they've never had to deal with magnetic tape cassettes. They've never had that.
Yeah.
What about reel to reel?
Only in school. I only saw that in school.
I had one.
I think I'm a bit too young for that. I think I'm a bit too young for that.
Like the two big spools.
Yep.
Like if you think of like the old movies when they would like be, all right, we're gonna have to track the phone call, and they got this big reel to reel machine. They're just over there like adding all these extra stuff, but that was the machine underneath it.
Well, when you threw a party, I had my reel to reel probably until the 90s, I guess, or no, actually into the 2000s. I still had it. I had put it in storage for a long time, but through the 80s. You would have, I'd record a whole shit ton of music, like 5.5 hours worth of music onto them. And you stick that on at a party and just let it go. That's what they came in handy for. 8-track, remember those? Yeah, I still have one. Kiss Dynasty, I think I still have somewhere.
Yeah.
So I actually started, sorry, this is distracting, but we're talking about old music and stuff. So I started collecting vinyl and I didn't want my wife to be left out.
Uh-oh.
So I got her in sync.
Yes.
No strings attached.
Printed disc too.
Which she loved. But also,
Who the hell's that?
it's Britney Spears. This is the oops, I did it again on vinyl.
That's amazing. Wasn't Yoko's voice was used for the Jawas in the original Star Wars? I don't think so.
I don't know. Tons of Mice is pretty funny. Yeah. Air says they still buy CDs from small shows. That's what I do too. I like to support a lot of the local music. So I'll always grab their discs and stuff like that.
I'll buy their stuff, but then I need them to go online and like have it available for me to actually listen to it.
Yeah.
Or that's going to be a car CD forevermore.
I think holy shit, I think I still do. Hang on, let me see. Somewhere down here.
I think there's only like 4 CDs that have been in my car ever. Because you just use Bluetooth for everything now.
This was before we changed our name to Luminous. When we recorded our first CD, the little 6-song EP that we did, we didn't even have a name at the time. I think we were using a name at the time called Hunker Down, but it sounded too country-esque. So we said, we'll change it to something, and we just couldn't figure out a name. And then I'm looking around the studio, and I'm looking at all the gear, and I look down, and I see this thing says Threshold on it. I say, hey, what about Threshold? Bill's like, yeah, that's cool. Let's go with that. So we were calling ourselves Threshold until we got an email on MySpace, of all places, from the lead singer from Threshold in England, and they've been around since like '93. And they said, you can't use that name. So I said, so we changed it to Luminous. But anyways, there's still a completely sealed version of our first.
Ooh.
Right?
I'd go for a lightning auction.
This is the one that has Immortal Realm on it, and also what else? It's got Immortal Realm, Self, Dollhouse, Mudslinger, Wishing Well, and Recurring Nightmare.
Sounds dope.
Yeah, it's got all. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I still got a few unopened, fully sealed.
Yo.
If I played my music on this show, do you think they'd give me a strike?
Hey, it happens. People post their own stuff and they get striked for their own stuff. It's ridiculous.
I did a whole filled out a form with YouTube and stuff, so I'm allowed to play my tunes.
Nice.
A giveaway item there. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what.
I was about to say I have a charity thing I want to talk to you about. that might be a great prize.
Well, yeah, I could give one of these away. Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, totally could. I've got a few left that are unopened. Out of the 4,000 that we printed, they're all gone except for the 3.
Wow.
And then there were 3.
Yeah, well, all right. So I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we'll get out of here and get into the after party.
Sure.
I kind of want to know what, for folks that are, where you kind of were when you started sort of realizing that it may not be true. What kind of advice would you give to those people?
Oh, wow. Wow. I'd say don't be afraid to question and doubt. And it can't be easy. I mean, it really depends the situation you're in, because I was just privileged to have a good family and people around me. But
it's not always that way either, right? So
yeah, you got to do what you think is the best for you. And well, I'll quote FDR. The only thing to fear is fear itself. So yeah.
All right.
That's my advice.
Well, is there anything you want to add to the story that you may have forgotten, that you kind of was like swelling around in the back of your head there?
Add to my story.
Yeah, like was there anything you're like, shit, I forgot to, because that can happen. It has happened.
I got nothing.
Okay, all right.
He's like, I'm done, dude.
I'm ready to get partying.
Yeah, my man.
All right.
I don't drink though, so maybe that makes it less of a fun party.
Well, I stopped drinking too.
No.
For the most part.
Yep.
But did crush a bottle of whiskey in 3 days, which is why I have to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 1 speed. All the way up.
Also, thank you for having me on here.
Yeah.
Sorry, when I replugged in my my CD drive, or I somehow unplugged the mic somehow because I have a USB hub that I put most of this shit into. Yeah. Well, you're welcome, Joel. Fuck. I want to thank you for coming on here and being brave enough to share your story with us.
No problem.
Thank you guys out there in the chat. If we missed a question you had, I apologize for that. But thanks for joining us for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are going to do an after party. The link is in the description box below if you just want to hang out and watch. And I don't know what Mikey's doing, but if you'd like to join the after party,
There we go.
Just let Mikey or myself know through one of the usual outlets there, or social media outlets there. And thank you to my amazing patrons. Without you guys, the show it wouldn't be happening. So thank you guys for all you do. It helps me take care of some of the bills for doing this. So I appreciate you.
You're keeping the lights on.
Keeping the lights on, as they say. Yeah. Fuck Ollie.
What is Joel's best score when he plays disc golf? I don't play disc golf. I'm sorry.
I can just see Ollie's face right now.
I can hear the
goat.
I can hear the sad music.
I'm not a sportsy guy.
Drip.
I'm too unathletic and nerdy for that kind of thing.
I have no idea what that means. Shout out to AX1 for first private astronauts. Okay, sure. Anyway. All right, let's do it. Let's get in the after party. Thanks, everybody. And like I always say at the end of the interviews, by the way, all the links for Joel are down below in the description box. There's a link for the after party down there as well.
Including the YouTube. I put it in there.
There you go.
Thank you.
YouTube, put it in there.
Will I come automatically to the after party, or do I need to?
I'll
I'll
give
give you another link. I'll give you another link.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. And until next time, like I always say at the end of the interviews, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge.
It hasn't, not knowledge yet.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.